Heya, cryptozens. Tonight's stories. Crypto.com wants their money. EU Parliament to vote on MiCA and proof of work. Russians buy UAE land with crypto. It's 10 p.m. Pacific, and the date is March 13th, 2022. Welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. I'm your host, Nick. The cover model for this podcast is Tex, and together we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space and the industry that surrounds it. We bring you new stories on familiar topics. And please keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. Now, if you're new here and you find that you like this show, subscribe and rate us. If you're on Spotify, you can rate us right from the app. So, give Tex and I 5 stars. It will help other people find their way to this podcast. Okay, so Ripple had a good day. It seems like this has gone on forever. But on March 12th, a district judge allowed Ripple to use a fair notice defense by striking down SEC's motion. Now, what this means is that Ripple can argue that it was the SEC that failed to tell Ripple that there could be a problem. That selling XRP might be against the law. The argument being that the government should have been more proactive, I guess. So, XRP got a bit of a bonus out of that, something like 9% in 24 hours. But at the time of writing, XRP is down 4.2% on the day. Now, before we get into tonight's stories, let's take a quick look at the markets. At the time of writing, the global crypto market cap is $1.74 trillion. That's down 0.54% in 24. The top 5 cryptos by market cap are Bitcoin down 0.25%, Ethereum up 0.19%, Tether, Binance Coin down 0.19%, and USDC. The global NFT market cap is just above 10.06 billion. The top 5 NFT collections by market cap are Bored Apes up 0.06%, CryptoPunks down 0.02%, Meebits down 0.02%, Dour Darcells up 0.25%, and Mutant Apes even on the day. Now, keep in mind, some of these collections have very volatile prices, so do your own research. Crypto.com wants their money. And to be fair, it is their money. They just let other people borrow it. All right, so what's going on here? Crypto.com gave their users in what's called excluded countries or restricted countries. Those folks got 1 week to repay their loans. And that runs out in a couple of days on the 15th. Now, Crypto.com just recently updated their list of restricted countries. Included on that list are the United States, the United Kingdom, and 38 others. Now, users from European countries like Germany and Switzerland, they have all gotten emails about the March 15th date. Interestingly, not everybody who got an email actually has a loan. And here's what the email said. Dear customer, please be informed that lending is no longer supported in your jurisdiction. For this reason, we are required to cancel your current loans. You can find more information here, and then there's a link. Kindly take steps to repay your loans by 2 a.m. UTC, 15 March 2022. Outstanding loans and the associated interest will be automatically repaid from the funds in your spot wallet account after this date. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused. If you have questions or comments, please call blah, 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 blah. So, some of their customers are clearly going to be upset. But then the question comes, why? Now, there's been a lot of advertising and marketing lately. That's got to be costing them some serious money. Do they have serious money? Crypto unicorn money? It doesn't sound like it. So, people are blaming crypto's spending spree. They spent millions of dollars on celebrity endorsements. They spent a ton on that Coliseum. So some people are thinking the well is starting to run dry and they may need some more capital. Honestly, I don't think that's the case. I think that they're looking at what's going on in the world and noting the talk of regulation of the United States and in the EU and all these places. It was just a month ago that BlockFi got hit for $100 million in penalties for its lending product. They were penalized for offering unregistered crypto lending products. Gemini and Celsius, they both have lending products. They came under SEC investigation in January. Crypto.com might just not want the hassle. I think a lot of outfits are just waiting to see more regulations come in so they have a better idea of what is going on before they risk offering something that they're going to be penalized for later. EU Parliament to vote on MiCA and proof of work. We just talked about this a little bit last night. People who are familiar with the matter are saying a slim majority of parliamentarians could defeat a controversial new MiCA provision. That provision, of course, is trying to force proof-of-work cryptocurrencies to change to a more energy-friendly consensus mechanism. So this rule, which would effectively lead to a ban, let's be clear, it would lead to a ban for the most popular crypto and a whole host of others. It's going to be voted on by European parliamentarians on Monday. And this is still a toss-up. The EU's Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee is set to vote on a draft of the proposed Markets in Crypto Assets, MiCA, framework. Now, MiCA is meant to be the EU's kind of wide-ranging legislative package to govern digital assets. The worrying part is the late addition that looks to limit the use of cryptocurrencies powered by an energy-intensive computing process known as proof of work. That's the way they call it. Now, right now, it's a close call. That said, there is a small majority of committee members that may turn against it. So, in this provision is a section, and that requires all crypto assets to be subject to the EU, and this is quite a long quote here. Subject to the EU's minimum environmental sustainability standards with respect to their consensus mechanism used for validating transactions before being issued, offered, or admitted to trading in the Union. So this would ban any new currencies that use proof of work. What's the plan for currencies that are already traded in the EU? Like Bitcoin, Ethereum? For those causes, they propose a phase-out plan to kind of shift the consensus mechanism from proof of work to other methods that use less energy, like proof of stake. So this kind of works for some. Ethereum, they're already planning on its move to proof of stake in a few months. I've never heard anyone seriously suggest that Bitcoin would ever be going to proof of stake. Now, we all know where this is coming from. There's a number of EU parliamentarians that have been pushing to ban proof of work cryptocurrencies over energy concerns. And that's even if the energy in question were to be renewable. Their fear is that the renewable energy would be channeled into proof of work computing rather than working for the people on the national grid as it's designed. A previous version of this provision proposed the prohibition of proof of work crypto in the EU starting January 2025. This provision was later dropped following criticism from crypto advocates before the modified version made it back into the latest draft. Russians buy UAE land with crypto. According to a CNBC report, crypto firms in the United Arab Emirates are being bombarded with request after request. What's the request? Liquidate billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and other crypto. So, the source for this info said that most of the liquidation requests are coming from Swiss brokers on behalf of their Russian clients. The Russians are moving their funds from Switzerland. They don't want to risk that the Swiss government are possibly going to seize their assets as a sanction fallout. CNBC writes, some clients are using cryptocurrency to invest in real estate in the UAE, while others want to use firms that turn their crypto virtual money into hard currency. And this is not a small amount either. According to a Swiss broker, these our minimum orders have been at least $2 billion each. They said that the request for liquidation started 10 days ago. Not surprising considering what was going on about then. This war with Ukraine has resulted in destabilizing sanctions on Russia. And so they suspect that Russia has plans to use crypto such as Bitcoin to mitigate the effects of these sanctions. Apparently, they got 5 or 6 requests last week. Now, none of these orders were successfully filled, but that's 5 or 6 requests in a week. They usually get 1 in a month for transactions this large. The company executive told CNBC, "We have one guy. I don't know who he is, but he came through a broker, and they're like, we want to sell 125,000 Bitcoin. And I'm like, what? That's 6 billion, guys. And they're like, yeah, we're going to send it to a company in Australia. Some of them are also trying to buy land with crypto. A real estate broker partnered with a crypto firm to help people buy land said, we are seeing a lot of Russians and even Belarusians come to Dubai and bringing whatever they can bring, even in crypto. So they said that many people have been buying property in Dubai using cryptocurrency to get their money out of jurisdictions and safely into the Gulf state, which is not surprising. Cryptocurrency exchanges are blocking Russian accounts. Some of the biggest, like Binance and Coinbase, are complying with these sanctions. They said they don't want people to be able to use crypto to evade sanctions. And that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I do really appreciate it. So let me ask you this. What do you think? Is XRP going to win this thing? I mean, it has drug on since December of 2020. Everybody keeps telling me that Ripple is dead, but it is still chugging along, so I just don't know. You tell me, what do you think? Send me an email at crypto.overnighter@gmail.com. That's crypto.overnighter@gmail.com. And give Crypto in 5 Minutes a listen. We're up to 31 educational podcasts and counting. 5 minutes to explain one concept in crypto. And forever, may peace